Mm. What is going on YouTube and y'all squad? This is your boy Yakutees. This is your review for Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 3 Episode 5. Um Decent episode, a whole lot of yelling, but I am starting to get tired of having the same conversations. And part of it is that it's the whole people, or more or less in most instances, generally Giselle starting something and okay, well, let's table it because I don't want to hear it anymore. So there's no resolve. So we have no choice but to revisit it yet again. Stuff like that, it's annoying. But nevertheless, let's get into this review. So we start off with Pepsi. Look, y'all, Pepsi's a whole vibe. And it's so crazy how this review is gonna start off with Pepsi, yet it's going to end with Pepsi, which is so crazy. But he's like, you'll see if y'all haven't seen the episode. But he's a whole vibe. He is going to host a morning event, which is going to be Muay Thai. So pretty much some kickboxing and whatnot. And in the afternoon, he's going to take them, on a trip of the town where they can do some shopping, grab some lunch, and then the evening is going to be Marisol. So for the Muay Thai, Portia doesn't want to do it. Giselle just wants to sit, lounge in the pool, and you really only have Heather, Leah, and Whitney doing it. And Leah and Whitney, hey, they was getting it in. So there's that. Because in terms of the other women, the Miami girls weren't doing it. Candace wakes up late, and she was said her face was it cake and bacon? It was something. I don't know what that is, but we'll get there. But we'll see her in a second. But she was doing something. You have Marisol and Alexia in their confessional, reliving the previous night, and the women, primarily Candace, them saying that she was loud, saying that pretty much she swallowed a microphone, and just saying that she's very, very loud, and they're being shady to the girl that pretty much embrace their Spanglish, right? Like, it's one of those where it's clear that those two are on team Giselle and Portia. I'm just saying, if there's teams, that's the side that they have picked. Which again, it's so interesting that y'all are teaming it. Y'all are pretty much on Giselle's side when y'all see she is no one to be trusted. And again, even told y'all to pretty much, putting the button on it. Y'all not gonna speak, Spanglish, Espanol around me, but that ain't none of my business. So Whitney realizes that the other women will not understand her and Heather's issues, and she's going to spend the remainder of the time building new relationships. Baby, that was supposed to have been the main objective. And see, what you messed up is, you a little simple. Because for whatever reason, a lot of the women on this show is simple. Like, how y'all don't see that Giselle, who is not good at her job of producing, is creating conflict just to see y'all fight. Like, we have good producers on some of these shows, and whether y'all believe it or not, Candace has been producing this show and has been doing a much better job of Giselle. And I'm not just saying that because I like Candace, I'm just stating facts. But y'all don't see that she's intentionally being messy, and y'all just going with it. So Whitney, yeah, you just fell for the okey doke, but whatever. So Giselle calls over Pepsi because she has a problem. She can't find her bottle that she brought. She feels one of the girls took the bottle and wants Pepsi to be on the lookout. Now, this was the bottle that she had on the boat trip. She brought the bottle back with her, and then she put the bottle in the bar. Now it has gone missing. Um, let's see, did I miss anything? And then she goes and talks to Portia, and pretty much says she talked to Pepsi, and asks him, if he felt like the other women, like one of the other women to the bottle. Now, he didn't say yes. It was kind of one of those, like, maybe type of sort of, kind of expressions on his face or whatever. And then Giselle says, court's going to be in session at lunch. Everybody will be held accountable. And also, them bringing up Candace yelling for everyone to, shut up at the event. And that just shows, why no one likes her, is like building a character case against her. And again, it's clear she does not like Candace. And Candace, I mean, I don't know how many times we gotta say it. This woman don't like you, and the fact that you decided to play nice after your season wrapped, and look where the hell you at again. Look, you got one time with me, and if I'm related to you, depending on how deep that relation is, you might have to, especially at this point in my life. I'm 36. Once I turn 30, all these second, fifth, all them other chances, out the window. You ain't got but one. And at that point, I have no problem with, because here's the thing, you know how they say forgive and forget? I'm all about that. I will forgive you, but then I'm going to forget the place in my life that you used to have, and you won't have access to me anymore. I have no problem with being cordial, but you would never get that close to me ever again. That's how it is over here. I'm just saying, Candace, baby, I need for you to learn it. I'm pretty sure we around the same age. All right, praise the Lord. So Heather and Leah talk about last night. Leah brings up someone DM'd her a picture that Portia had posted of all of them, and pretty much all the women were tagged, with the exception of herself and Candace. And feels like, that's real messed up, especially given how they've already had a conversation about the effects of social media. And pretty much what they feel is like this is going to create problems within the fandom, because now people are going to see it. There are a lot of people who tend to, scan people's pages. So obviously, oh, these two aren't tagged. Let's make speculations and all. So it can be very toxic. And again, we all know the Bravo fandom is very toxic. I think the only other fandom that is as toxic is the Love and Marriage fandom. Oh my Lord. And I probably should not bring them up. So Candace joins them, and Candace says that Portia isn't as dumb as she acts. Facts. And says that, she knows what she is doing, as well as the fallout that will come from that. And then says, you want problems, so I will give you problems. Now, I sat here like, not Candace. I kind of understand where you're going with this, but baby, you're not about that life. Okay, I'm going to need for you to not get too big for your britches, okay? You got all that mouth, and we understand, but look, we didn't seen Portia on many times fly off the handle, all right? I'm just saying, like, even on her own show, which was in the last year and a half, 2 years, I'm just saying, all right. So now we have the bus trip. Marisol hands out screwdrivers, and Portia says that hers is strong and she drinks any. And it, we know Marisol drinks. I mean, it just is what it is, right? Okay. Alexia says that she just learned what shade was based off of how the reasonably shady little thing happened. And, Candace and Leah talk about, the passive aggressiveness that is, pretty much Portia and somewhat Giselle. And then we get to the market. Pepsi is handing out some currency to give to the women for them to get, temple gifts, because I think they're going to the temple next episode, if I'm not mistaken. And some of them kind of doing the whole make it rain type of thing. And then Candace shady self in her interview go say that Pepsi is giving sugar daddy, but sugar vibes. And she was like, maybe I should ask Portia because she knows about it. Now, look, I didn't holler because my dog, now she's up now, scratching herself. But my dog was sleeping, and had I yelled out, she would have jumped up and then looked at me like right now. She's looking at me like I'm crazy because I'm just talking to a screen that nobody's there. But anyway, let me see. Alexia wants Pepsi to haggle for her an item, because it's dirty, and in America, if it's dirty, you don't have to pay full price out. I guess, because it could have easily just been there's multiple multiple of the same models. You could have just grabbed another one, but again, ain't none of my business. I'm gonna just keep going. Let's see. Leah is hot. She's irritated, and then she ends up falling down, saying that she can't feel her legs. And in Portia's confessional, she is only concerned about Leah not wearing panties and being on her period. Giselle says she's no longer poor Leah, she's nasty Leah. And both women, mock her in their interviews. Now, I'll say this. Let me be clear. If I don't mess with you, I don't care what happens to you, to be all the way honest. And the most that I will do is I will send up a real quick prayer to the Lord, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I have nothing else for you after that. Again, I'm not finna wish no bad on you because again, I ain't got no heaven nor hell to put nobody in. But if I don't mess with you, it just is what it is. But I'm not finna go out of my way like that to sit here and kind of like, soak and bathe in it. And again, don't forget the interviews are done because a lot of people are arguing what is an interview versus a confessional. What Pepsi has, that is a confessional. Like when you see them in their same clothing and they're still in the midst of that moment, that's a confessional. When they get all dolled up and whatnot to sit here and give us their commentary on what has already happened, that's an interview. So again, y'all already seen this back and y'all giving all this nastiness. It's just a testament to that person. But again, don't get me wrong. Y'all, if for those y'all who know me on the YT, y'all know how I get down. If I don't mess with you, I don't mess with you. And if you get me there, I'm gonna say the nastiest thing I can say. I will take it to hell. But what I'm saying is, you not gonna live there rent free to where I have all of this extra for you. It ain't even that serious with me. I'm way too grown for that. But in essence, did it come off nasty? Yes. But look at the two women that we're talking about. Candace and the Salt Lake City girls, they go to get some cannabis for the ladies. I don't think they ever got around to using any of it because they did get, the regular form to burn, and then they did get edibles, both liquid and solid form. So it's lunchtime, which is where all the madness starts. And again, like my thing is like, y'all could have waited till y'all got home. Y'all in public now. But whatever, here we go. Giselle brings up tequila and it being hard for her to find and taking someone 3 weeks to find it in the store. Look, Heather was just like, it ain't that difficult. Y'all, I looked on my phone and do y'all know I found it lickety split. Now, the closest to me, now I didn't do an extensive research, but the closest to me I think was in one of the maybe like 1 or 2 cities over. And I'm in Chicago. I forget exactly where it was at, but not that far. And I'm pretty sure if I went to Benny's or something, I could find it there. And it's not even that expensive, depending on how much you paid for liquor, right? So it's you putting 20 on 10. And let me also say, when it comes to the bottle, I get it. Look, if I go to an event, I have a bottle with me. But here's the other thing. The bottle stays with me. Okay. The bottle stays with me. Because again, when you have a bottle just laying out there, everybody feels that it's free for them to drink it. And of course, if somebody ain't got to crack open their bottle when your bottle there, they gonna drink your bottle. And the fact that she put it back at the bar, in my mind, if it's at the bar, it's for any and everybody to drink. So either this is you being cheap and tacky. Well, we already call her tacky, so I guess her being cheap. So again, I understand it, but if it was that serious, all you had to do was just take it and put it in your room. It's really just simple. But again, you need something to stir up some trouble. Whatever. So she says Heather suspect number 1 because she don't believe nothing that comes out of her mouth. Marisol suspect number 3 because she actually has little miniature bottles of that. So maybe she wanted the big bottle. And then Candace is suspect number 2 because she stole tequila when they were in Mexico. So this is referring to Potomac this last season when they were in Mexico and they had a tequila tasting, and Candace was under the impression initially that, okay, well, since we had this testing, all of what's here is for us, and I'm guessing that's also from her thinking, I believe it was season 6, when they had I think it was a whiskey tasting when they was on a trip, and how pretty much it was left there, and they were getting drunk off of it. So I guess she thought that. So she went to grab a bottle and even asked, Giselle about it, and and I guess Giselle's just like, oh no, yeah, take it. But production had to tell her like, no, you need to put that back because they will place you in Mexican prison. So, and Candace's whole thing is she was, encouraged to do it. But again, I'm looking at you, Candace, like, how many times you gonna let this woman set you up and put you in a compromising position? Nevertheless. But now, because you did this, she gonna use it against you, i.e. almost like with Tamika from Escape when she lied on Candy on behalf of her sister, and now her sister is using that instance as a way to call her a liar in general, because even though you did it for me, I mean, you're still a liar, right? Gotta be careful about those things. And she pretty much wants to go into the girls' rooms and search, and Candace is like, you not coming into my room. It ain't happening. And Giselle like, well, the other woman, she like, if the other women want you to do it, that's fine. You ain't doing it. Marisol says, okay, well, how about since we're not there currently, we just have the staff do it. And Candace's like, okay, that's fine. Now, it didn't happen, and I'm thinking that it didn't happen because all the cameras were with them. So, and again, this is one of those where if something did come up missing, that is, you look, the network or somebody's going to get sued. So I'm guessing because there wasn't a camera there for one of the crew to go through and do the quote-unquote check, that's why it didn't happen then, and we revisited towards the end of this particular episode. And then Candace says in her interview that Giselle has nothing that she wants, and all that she has to offer is long necks and stovepipe legs. I hollered. So Marisol, okay, I already said that. So Candace gives an update on Leah. She's back at the house. She's resting. Candace then brings her the IG post and how it looks. And Portia says, I don't have to explain my social media to you. Facts. And even though I don't like Portia and I don't see it for Portia, that could have ended it right there. She decided to entertain it. And Candace is constantly, saying stuff. And Portia's like, but I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about the optics. I don't care. And even so, and in essence, pretty much told her, even when it comes to you, I don't care about the optics of it. Like, I don't care. So Candace says not tagging them is a form of cyberbullying. I think I understand what she was trying to get at, but okay, Candace, Candace, I love you, but we doing too much, baby. We doing too much. Because everybody was like, oh my God. And I was even sitting here like, okay, Candace, okay. Now we doing a bit merch. Okay, we doing a bit merch. And Portia says, are you hurt? Are you hurt? On the loop, are you hurt? Are you hurt? And Candace is saying, are you taunting me? But only said it once. And I'm like, oh, here we go. Here we go. It's almost shades of, you want to drag me? Do you want me to? It reminded me of that. I ain't saying who or what. I've just said it kind of gave you just slight. Okay, I'm going to keep going. We don't want to revisit that. Portia then says, can someone fold this napkin into a triangle? We know what this is, right? We know what this is. And then Alexis wants clarity, and Candace like, I just want, Portia to know that she was being passive-aggressive and shady. So then Alexia brings up her yelling, telling them to shut the F up, and the Miami girls don't talk that way. And Portia wants to know, why does Candace go from 0 to 1,000? Again, we're not going to start in the middle and be at the very end. No, like, y'all do stuff to her more often than not all the time, more often than not, and now she's responding. And also, especially if you've been watching Potomac since she's been on and you really gotten a chance to understand Candace and her personality, you will understand that she was always a child that really doesn't have a voice and was stifled and having to feel like I have to yell to get my point across or to get people to calm down so I can speak. And I get it and I understand it. Now, again, that's something that she needs to reconcile and figure out, but I do get it. But Portia, even you sitting there doing the whole, oh, well, can somebody fold this triangle up, fold this napkin up to put in a triangle? You're trying to provoke her to go from 0 to 1,000. So, bam, your hands aren't clean either. Alexia, I'm going to just need for you to calm it the hell down. Because what it's giving me is you just don't have the energy, the gump, and all of that to go as certain women that are on, on this show with you. And I guess you feel that because you done clicked up with Giselle and Portia that, okay, Candace is an easy target. Because let's be clear, when you solo dolo with her or you're there without, Portia and Giselle, you ain't got the energy for her. Not at all. Like, come on now, don't do that. But Candace tells to Portia, I'm a loud talker. And Portia wants to know, says, I just want to have a conversation. She said, I'm not used to someone who cannot have a normal conversation. Portia, I know you lying. I know you lying, because it gets to a point where you can't even use your words because you don't have the vocabulary or the bandwidth. So because you don't have it, and maybe you have been emotionally stunted, that the very next thing that you do is you go physical. And guess what? I can talk about it because that's how most men are. Not me, because I actually have a mouth on me. But it's okay, I'm not winning the argument, so the only thing I can do is, since I can't win verbally, I guess I can try to win physically. Like, girl, stop playing. So the girls then start to talk over each other. Portia says, oh, well, they just want followers. And Candace had said earlier when she was talking with Leah and Heather, at some point she's gonna say that. And Candace just like, I knew you would say that. How predictable. And then Portia says to Candace, we need Pedialyte for PJ. And they had to put on the screen who PJ was again if you don't watch it. And that's one thing I can appreciate about Ultimate Girls Trip is they will give you the background for those who don't watch the other shows. So obviously PJ is her daughter. And her being all loud and stuff, obviously she was trying to provoke another moment from Candace. She just didn't get it. So it's the car ride home. We find out that Pepsi has one kid, and I believe he either said that he has 4 wives or he had 4 wives. Either way, they was calling him a player. And Heather is saying all this stuff that she wanted to say at the table to Giselle and whatnot. And Heather's whole thing is, why the hell didn't you just say it then? Because you know how sometimes you be in a confrontation with somebody, and when it's all said and done, it's like, dang, I could have said this and this and this. That isn't the case. Heather just don't want that type of smoke or energy. So rather than saying to these people's face, you're going to say it away from them. Now, we all know people like that, right? So back at the house, Giselle wants someone to go into Candace's room and check the luggage. And she is pretty much being a Karen. In essence, trying to strong arm the hell out of production. And they feel so uncomfortable because it's like, it's really not that damn serious. It's really not. Where it's like, what are we doing here? And you have Candace that goes into Leah's room and is kind of giving her the download on what happened. And Candace doesn't remember everything that was said verbatim. And she's like, well, and she even says, I don't remember if it was said exactly like this. But, and I can appreciate that where it's like, I don't remember exactly how it was said. But trying to give her the roundabout of the whole thing of how, Portia, was responding to the whole social media post and whatnot. So Giselle goes to quote unquote check up on Leah. As soon as she walks in, Leah's like, why doesn't Portia like me? Giselle's like, you need to talk to her about that. I don't know. And then she was like, yeah, because apparently she said this and this and this. And Candace was even saying, I didn't necessarily say that. I was saying, I don't know, and da-da-da. And then you have Giselle saying, oh, yeah, typical Candace. She steals, she lies, she makes up stuff. And I'm sitting here like, now, hold the hell on. Now, the stealing part, that's, we don't know. But lying and making up stuff, baby, that's you. Projection. Stop it. So, Giselle is still going on and on, trying to get somebody to go check the room. Her and Candace are getting into it. And Candace is like, I ain't stole nothing. And pretty much, you should be able to go off my word. And Candace's whole thing is, no, y'all not going in my room, now what? And pretty much, that's where all that is. Like, there's no resolve. But I felt bad because Pepsi goes into his confessional. And he's just saying, like, it's so much going on. It's so much commotion. Some of them are being rude. I'm being asked this question. I can't lie. I don't know what to say. And pretty much, he starts to cry. And I'm like, man, like, and it's sad when you have someone who is a joyous, carefree spirit that is just there trying to have fun. And then y'all get this man wrapped up into y'all shenanigans. I really feel bad for him. Like, my heart, like my eyes watered. Nah, I ain't dropping tickets. I'm a thug. But I was like, that's sad. So, that's the episode, right? I thought it was going to be longer. Well, me with my notes. But I was able to get through this faster than what I thought that I would. So, that is all that I have. Hopefully, you all enjoyed the review. Whew, it's draining. I don't know how many more episodes we got, but I'm going to thug it out. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you all for the next video. All right, peace out.